Alright, I already tried making this point. I already did a whole video talking about this, I already tried explaining it, and it seems like people, for some reason, didn't understand what I was saying. Now, a lot of you, granted, you did. You understood that, I was saying something, and based on the evidence, obviously it made sense. But then there were other people who thought that maybe I was being unfair, or they thought that maybe I was taking it over a certain limit. But I think this is the kind of stuff here that just proves what I'm saying to be correct. So, if you guys don't know, yesterday PlayStation 5 did a big reveal event, right? The PlayStation 5 is supposed to come out later this year. They released a bunch of footage and stuff, and trailers from a bunch of different games that are already confirmed. They're doing a Miles Morales, spin-off kind of thing with the Spider-Man game from the PS4, remastering it and bringing it to the PS5. There's a new Gran Turismo game. There's the Demon's Souls remaster looks pretty good. NBA 2K21. I'm sure all that stuff is going to be a given, but they revealed a bunch of information about the console and whatnot as well. I mean, this was kind of like the big reveal, I guess, for PlayStation. And of course, when it comes down to these reveals, you're supposed to try and hit it out of the park. These game developers and the company like Sony that makes the console, they're supposed to try and just knock it out of the park at any time, right? They're supposed to that's what they're going for. They're trying to impress as many people as possible, trying to get people to buy their consoles. It makes sense. But a lot of people, they're split on it, right? A lot of people thought that the PS5 event was pretty decent. I'm one of those people. I'm kind of excited for a few of the games that I saw. And then there's people who just thought it was complete dog shit, which is also fine. I really don't care what your personal preference is on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. I really don't care. You're allowed to have a preference. That's not the problem, right? Genuinely, I prefer playing on the PlayStation when it comes to consoles. That's just how it is. When it gets weird and when it gets unnecessary is when you're one of these fucking weirdos who care so much about the name on the console that you will vehemently defend it to the end of the earth. You will treat it as if it's like an extension of your personality to the point that you are personally being attacked if someone says anything bad about this. Now, I used to be guilty of this. Back when the console wars, were a big thing, I was guilty of doing this shit because, it's just how it was. But at this point, not only have I kind of understood that it's ridiculous, but at the same time, it is almost objectively ridiculous at this point to really, I guess, sit here and argue over which piece of manufactured plastic is the better one. Now, at the end of the day, it comes down to personal preference once again, but there are oddballs who actually care so deeply about this shit that they just share these comparison charts and argue with people on the internet about it. This tweet here, I think, is perfect. It sums up what I'm trying to say extremely well. Damn, for everyone who's so hyped for the PS5 and not the Xbox, y'all must look dumb as fuck now. The Xbox specs are way better than the PS5. And as you can see here, these are the different things that compare the PS5 and the Xbox. Most of this either isn't important whatsoever or it's such a minute difference that it really doesn't fucking matter. Teraflops are a completely overhyped measurement between consoles. Other statistics are just so close that it doesn't even matter whatsoever. I mean, oh my god, you're getting a whole you're getting a whole 3 more units in your pixel rate there, fella, if you get an Xbox. So, once again, there's people online who they defend these companies to the death of them, and it's so insane. I don't get it. I can't comprehend doing that in the year 2020. First off, disregard these entire charts and whatnot that compare the performance. If you care so fucking deeply about the performance of your console that you'll defend the name of it so crazily, these billion-dollar companies, why don't you just get a PC? Okay, now, I rail against people who preach PC gaming so much to the point that they become assholes, but at this point, it's a genuine question. If you care so fucking much about the things that are in your machine, you might as well just be a PC gamer. I mean, because you look ignorant if you're sitting here like, oh my god, bro, my Xbox has more teraflops than a PlayStation. But then at the end of the day, you're defending something to be in second place, essentially, when it comes down to it. I mean, consoles are never going to have better graphics, better components, any of that, than a PC that I build. And the thing is, You would think that they realize this because, console players are generally speaking against PC players. And I understand why. Once again, because PC players, they fucking act like they're golden and they act like they're the greatest people on planet Earth because they have an RGB keyboard and a GeForce graphics card. They think that that just makes them the greatest. And they're just so beast because they have it and they're better than other people, but they spend their whole time on the computer browsing Reddit and arguing with these people. So it's a complete fucking conundrum. Like, none of it makes sense whatsoever. Like, you're comparing the fucking RAM between a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox SX. I have double the RAM that these new machines have in my computer. I could exponentially more if I really wanted to. If I got a motherboard that could, support several different sticks of RAM, most of them have 4 slots at this point. I don't think I've ever personally seen one that has only 2 slots at this point. It's 2020, but you can, on PC, blow these fucking consoles out of the water. General knowledge, I thought, at this point, but apparently not, because you're literally this meme if you give a fuck about console wars. This is literally you. You're sitting here just like, oh my god, bro, Xbox is so great. It's so good, bro. More teraflops, bro. We got slightly higher pixel and texture rates. There's more shaders, bro. Xbox for the win, bro. And this is where you stand at the podium. Because the dude on PC is running Grand Theft Auto 5 in 4K 60 FPS. Like, honestly giving a fuck about this. Like, sitting there arguing on Twitter or Reddit or whatever about this just makes no sense. But then this same person, in the same fucking thread, said, and I quote, "Damn, only PC players care about specs. And it shows in this thread, LMAO." I didn't know somebody could be so goofy. You know what I mean? Just be completely oblivious to anything that they've said. And another point to make is, like, if you care so deeply about this shit, right? Like, oh, bro, my Xbox runs better. I love having all the Xbox games. It's like, you can just build a PC, and most, if not pretty much all Xbox games that you're going to be playing are available on your PC because, well, guess who makes Windows? Microsoft, okay? So you can just play Xbox games on the PC in better quality. It kind of renders your whole point completely fucking mute. It makes no sense. Caring this deeply about this does not matter. And even with, like, the PlayStation people, once again, I prefer playing PlayStation for the most part. I'm just gonna get all of them. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter that deeply. Like, if you're a big fan of gaming, right, and you have the disposable income, you do whatever you want with it, right? I'm going to have both the Xbox and the PS5. Maybe I will like the Xbox more this generation. I have no idea. You know why? Because I don't care about the name on the box, okay? I care about the games that I'm playing. The PlayStation 4, in my opinion, had better exclusives than the Xbox. Same reason I play a Nintendo Switch. If you're one of the people who only plays gaming for specs and you have a console and you care about these specs, you gotta be, there has to be something wrong. Like, I don't know if you don't understand or if you're just not smart. I don't know. But what comes down to in video games is video games, right? And the PS4 had better exclusives in my opinion. The Nintendo Switch had incredible games. I'm not playing the Nintendo Switch because it's a fucking powerhouse, because it's not. It's really not a powerhouse, okay? It's not. I think we can all agree on that. It runs most games fine, but it's not a 4K 60 FPS console or PC or anything. I'm playing a gaming console because it has good games. Like, you could put together the best machine ever, right? Like you could put together an Xbox that has 64 gigabytes of RAM, has like dual GeForce 2080 graphics cards, and it's got like, I don't know, it's got a Threadripper or something as the CPU. It's got like 10 terabytes of SSD storage, RGB programmable to any color, just like the greatest, most powerful Xbox. If you released only 5 games for it, I wouldn't fucking buy it. Because the numbers that make up the machine's components don't matter whatsoever when it comes down to it. You can build the beefiest, most beautiful machine ever, and if it has no games that are fun to play, why have it? And I'm not saying that Xbox has no games that are fun, okay? Because there are a lot of Xbox games that are extremely fun. They're pretty enjoyable. But that's what you should be focusing about when it comes down to video games, not the fucking teraflops or anything like that. I mean, when it comes down to it, like, all the people that I can think of in person, like, back in high school, I mean, I'm not in school anymore or anything. Back in, like, high school, you'd hear console war arguments and shit between the Redditors and the band kids. And those were the people that were arguing about this. And that's what I have to imagine that most of these people are like. Either they don't know anything about gaming, and all they give a shit about is a brand name on the front of a machine, a manufactured piece of plastic, or they're just simply looking for something to argue about. That doesn't matter whatsoever. I mean, the kids who genuinely cared about console wars back when I was in school were the kids making like hit lists and stuff, and getting suspended for making bomb threats in the bathroom. Those were the people who gave a shit about the piece of plastic preference so much that they had to defend. Like, just think about that. Like, let this go ahead and soak into your head real quick. There are grown adults who just so vehemently defend billion-dollar corporations and their products like this, that they care this deeply. Grown fucking adults, okay? Like, dude has 4 kids he needs to be taken care of, and he's sitting here just arguing with strangers on the internet. Bro, my Xbox is so sweet. Yeah, you probably feel stupid for playing PlayStation, don't you? Huh, yeah, I'm a real gamer, bro. And here's the thing, right? Like, there's been a bunch of price leaks and whatnot for these new consoles. People are talking about these new consoles are gonna cost upwards of like $800. From like $550 to $800, $850. That's the price range I've been hearing, because of the shit that they have to do to keep these things profitable and what they're putting in the machines. So at this point, you don't care about the exclusive games. You don't care about any of that. You don't care about the actual products that you're using the machine to play, but you care about the specs and whatnot, right? But you're willing to pay, what, $800 just because this fucking box that you're loyal to has better numbers than the other box that has essentially the same numbers? If you're gonna spend $800 for specs, you genuinely might as well just go to PC. You can build a PC for $800 that probably runs better than these consoles are gonna end up running. If you're a big fan of Xbox games, they're pretty much all on PC. Steam and all these other services essentially have any video game you can ever imagine, and if they don't, you can always find them online through like CD-ROM keys for other launchers and whatnot. And you're essentially putting the same money into the machine. Like, it baffles me that people genuinely do this. I don't know if I'm missing something here. Can someone explain this to me? Like, why do people do this? Why is this such an important thing to people? And then you got this, bro, exactly. These clowns are clowning me because I care about the specs when I'm playing a game and shit. I got a PC, and if I can't feel like I'm playing the PC when playing a console, then I will stick to being on the PC, LMAO. So, then what the fuck is your original argument even supposed to be? So you're arguing for a machine that you're not going to play because the numbers are slightly different than the other machine's numbers, when you apparently already don't even play on either of them. So what is your point? I don't understand. This is what I'm talking about. Like, at a certain point, people just gotta realize, okay, when it comes down to everything pretty much here listed, okay, it's going to be virtually non-noticeable whatsoever. When you're actually playing either of these things, it's not going to fucking matter, because the differences are going to be so minuscule that you're arguing literally over nothing, except for a logo, okay? Just conceptualize that for a second. You are arguing on the defense of a logo and the shape of a piece of plastic. That is what you are now defending, while at the same time not even making an argument that actually even matters or even makes any fucking sense. So please do the whole gaming community a favor and just stop, because you make everyone who plays video games look like a dum-dum. Please quit. Argue about video games, whether or not you like them. Argue about shit that actually matters. Argue about things that actually counts. Even then, I wouldn't, probably, but stop arguing over logos. Please. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new right here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. That was a very smooth transition. Also, make sure to check out Shop Opti down below, and thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, not arguing over machines because, well, I don't really give a fuck what logo's on it, and signing out.